Lady Mage presents the Holder series. I do not own any of these. If you wish to find these, go to theholders.org. I'll try to read about 5 of these. The Holder of the End. Holder number 1. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of the End. Should a look of childlike fear come over the worker's face, then you will be taken to a cell in the building. It will be in a deep, hidden section of the building. All you will hear is the sound of someone talking to themselves echo through the halls. It's in a language that you will not understand, but your very soul will feel unspeakable fear. Should the talking stop at any time, stop and quickly say out loud, "I'm just passing through. I wish to talk." If you still hear silence, flee, leave, stop for nothing. Do not go home. Do not stay at an inn. Just keep moving and sleep where your body drops. You'll know in the morning if you've escaped. If the voice in the hall comes back after you utter those words, continue on. Upon reaching the cell, you will see a windowless room with a person in the corner, speaking an unknown language and cradling something. The person will only respond to one question. What happens when they all come together? The person will then stare into your eyes and answer your question in horrifying detail. Many go mad in that very cell. Some disappear soon after the meeting, and a few end their lives, but most do the worst thing possible and look upon the object in the person's hands. You will want to as well, but be warned that if you do, your death will be one of cruelty and unrelenting horror. Your death will be in that room by that person's hands. That object is 1 out of 538. They must never come together. Never. The Holder of the Beginning. Holder number 2. Don't ask why they're in that order. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls herself the Holder of the Beginning. A small smile will work its way over the person's mouth, almost as if you say, "You fool." You will be taken down a hallway, seemingly leading out into a place it shouldn't. Physically, this place shouldn't exist anywhere in the institution, yet it does. The hall will be forever silent, even if you try to make noise. Screams will die before leaving your mouth, and footsteps will be muffled. Your guide will simply point to the door. If you enter, you'll find a cozy room full of pleasant, yet unidentifiable perfume. In the center of the room, you will see a beautiful woman holding her arms as if cradling something. Further inspection will reveal that she is, in fact, holding nothing at all. The room will remain just as silent as the hallway you just left, only much nicer smelling, apparently. No matter how hard you try, the only exception is if you ask one question. Why were they separated? The woman will then explain in excruciating detail every horrific event in history, every beating, every war, every rape. No travesty in history of the universe will escape your ears. When she finishes, all will fall silent. It's up to you to do what you will with this information. That woman is object 2 of 538. It is up to you if they should be joined or not. The Holder of Eternity. Holder number 3. In any country, in any city, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the Holder of Eternity. A sigh might escape the worker as they look upon you with utmost pity. They will take you down a flight of stairs that into what should be the basement of the building, yet isn't. As you press deeper and deeper into the underbelly of the institution, you will begin to hear a chorus of screams. At first, it'll be barely audible, as if originating from a point a great distance away. But the closer you get to the end of the hallway, the louder it will become, until it drones so loudly that it seems to consume all other noises. Soon the din will become so painful that you will feel an unrelenting urge to claw your own ears to escape it. It's advisable to resist the impulse, or else it'll be impossible to complete your quest. The worker will show you the door, covering both their ears as they do so. As swiftly as they can, they will unlock the door and run, leaving you alone in this cramped, dark hallway. This will be your last chance to run. If you decide to continue, though, open the door. The piercing wail will then end abruptly, leaving your ears ringing. The room you will enter will be coated in a most tangible, all-consuming darkness, but for the far end of the room, there, manacled to the wall, is an emaciated figure, covered in raw lashes. He will stare directly at you, with a maniacal grin plastered on his face. Despite festering wounds and a scalpel still half protruding from his chest. Now, this will be your only chance to save yourself, and the only way is to ask, who created them? He will cackle in a manner befitting the death throes of an animal before responding. His will be the most horrific tale you ever heard. Beyond such primitive concepts such as pain and death, it'll delve deep into the very essence of evil. Those of a weak mind will go mad at the man's stories, so remain strong, no matter how fragile your mind may feel. When he finishes, it'll be up to you to end this man's life, releasing his terrible burden. Remove the scalpel, and he will shudder once in agony before falling silent forever. The scalpel is object 3 of 538. It is up to you if the rest should be protected or destroyed. The holder of nothing. Holder number 4. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls herself the holder of nothing. Should a look of sheer primal disgust mar the worker's expression, you will be then taken to a separate building, one that appears to be an old wooden outhouse. Inside, you will seemingly be an endless corridor, far, far longer than the length of the outhouse. The corridor will be completely silent. Attempting to make any sound at the wrong time is a grievous, lamentable mistake. Should you notice the lights in the corridor getting brighter and brighter as you make your way down the end, soon you will be blinded by your brilliance. If at any point the lights go out, quickly shout, "No! Stop! What you're doing is wrong!" while backing away. If the lights do not come back on, bolt for the door you came through. It should still be open, hopefully. You aren't far enough down the hallway for it to close in on you. If it does close, an eternity in hell would be far preferable for what you're about to suffer. But if the lights do come back on, continue walking down the corridor. At the end of the hall will lie a single cell. The worker will open the door for you while glaring at you in disgust. Inside the cell will be a mad pastiche of colors arranged in several harlequin-like formations. You must not be distracted by them. For at the center of the room is a naked young woman, slathered in blood and bound in strips of human sinew. If you take your eyes off of her for even a moment, she will completely and totally destroy you. She will only respond to one question. What were they when they were one? She will then stare into your eyes and will speak an answer in incredible detail. It'll be unlike anything you've ever heard. You will be upon the verge of both ecstasy and agony at her mere words. It's not uncommon for a seeker to lose themselves in the euphoria. This is the worst thing you can do, however, is look upon the tattoo on her chest. Your mind will tempt you to gaze upon it, but you must resist. If you do not, and foolishly set your eyes upon it, you will fall victim to her horrifying powers. She will flay you alive and add your mutilated flesh to her bindings, and you'll remain trapped with her, fully conscious for the rest of time. The tattoo is object 4 of 538. They desire to be one again, but they mustn't. Holder number 5, the holder of light. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself into. When you reach the front desk, close your eyes and ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of light. You will be guided to a single door leading to a long, winding hallway. You will be told to open your eyes. The hallway will be pitch black, narrow enough for you to feel the walls to move yourself forward. If at any moment along the way the hallway is suddenly bathed in light, shut your eyes immediately. Quickly make your way back to the door you came through. If your eyes stay open for more than a second, what you will see will force you to instinctively tear them out. If the lights stay off long enough for you to actually navigate the corridor, you will reach another door. If you see any light escaping from the crack beneath the door, flee immediately, for what you seek is not there. If no light can be seen under the door, carefully turn the handle and enter. The room beyond will be completely dark, except from a single, dimly lit candle in the center. But little lighted issues will reveal the outline of a cloaked figure huddled over it. The man underneath the cloak will seem to remain perfectly still. There's only one question the man will respond to. What can protect us from them? Say anything else and the man will tear your eyes out and devour your soul. You will then be forced to take his place under the cloak for the rest of eternity. If you ask the above question, a piercing scream will ring out from the candle and a series of lights illuminate the room, revealing images of the most horrifying thoughts, fantasies, and memories from all consciousness throughout history. Most people cannot handle this event. They will go insane and die instantly. However, should you somehow manage to survive the ordeal, the cloak man will slowly rise and put his hands on your head. You will be forced to gaze upon his face. He looks like a young man, but his eyes are merely empty sockets. At this point, you must not look away, lest you be stranded in this room, forever forgotten in time. He will then open your hand and place a small, round object in your right hand. From this point on, you will feel no pain, unless you're in the process of attaining another object, for the pain you feel then will be nowhere close to normal. But the horrifying images you witnessed in that room will be burned into your memory for all eternity. The eye you hold in your hand is object 5 of 538. The awakening has begun. They must not be brought together. Those were holders 1 through 5. Bye!